What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an Arsenal inventory update to do for you guys. Vinyl this time. And seeing as how last week I went a more death metal oriented sort of route, this week we're going to do some mostly black metal orientated stuff. But some heavy hitters in here nonetheless. But first, what we're listening to in the background: Chaos Cascade. Grotesque Inflictions of Infernal Agony. Yeah. Man, if you have not heard Chaos Cascade, you really need to get up on listening to this project. Really raw, grindy, noisy black metal from Germany. Absolutely intense stuff. Definitely worth paying attention to. Alright. First record I'm going to show you is a 2017 release, and this is pretty much some of the last written and recorded work from probably one of black metal's most well-known and well-appreciated guitar players. This is Grandiose Malice with the Eternal Infernal. Yeah. This is released through Hell's Headbangers Records, and Grandiose Malice is pretty much the idea and project, one of the many projects from the late great Tregenda of Black Witchery. This was material that he was working on and composing prior to his unfortunate and untimely passing. Yeah, Tregenda is a really phenomenal guitar player, but he had some really awesome stuff going on outside of the band previously. He was in a project called Public Assassin, but then he also had this material entitled Grandiose Malice, which I believe he was already writing and recording, but he had some very awesome people get in on finishing this project up and releasing it for the public to be heard. And with the Eternal Infernal, you get some of Tregenda's songwriting aspects going on here wonderfully. Are You Experienced, The Illusion, Bell Book and Chalice, Bone Dance. Just some seriously solid songs being presented and played here by both Tregenda and the other gentlemen involved in this project. Matt Glazer, he's the guy doing drums and vocals on this project. Tregenda did guitar and bass for this, but anyways, really awesome stuff, and very much a testament to all of the memories that the great Steve Childers Tregenda did in his time writing music, crafting music, and putting together something very special. This is very much different from what you would normally hear in like Black Witchery and whatever, but I still think this is a very awesome release, and I'm glad that this is finally being made available for everybody to pay attention and listen to. But anyway, here's the front cover. Really cool album cover art. I believe Chris Moyen did the album the band logo. Very nicely done. Back cover with track listings, of course, Hell's Headbangers, band members in question. Very cool. Comes with a lyric sheet. You have lyrics for all the songs on this side. A little bit of a tribute on the back. R.I.P. Steve Childers, Tregenda, photo collage and liner notes. Yeah, like it says, it's supposed to be a project of Tregenda, but unfortunately he passed on. Comes with this very badass poster. This is very beautiful. Yeah, I love this damn thing. Yeah, pretty much a demon, and there you see Tregenda playing guitar, doing his thing. Very classy, badass poster art going on here. And I don't know the limitations on this record. I know there was a vinyl variant that was of a black and red merge, but I just got standard black vinyl. Very simple center labels going on here. Very nicely done. Good quality as always from Hell's Headbangers. Yeah, but yeah, if you ever wanted to know the inner workings of Tregenda in his songwriting with other musical projects, the Eternal Infernal is a really awesome listen. Definitely, if you want to get into knowing more of his works, definitely check out the Eternal Infernal. Very good stuff. Next up, we got a couple of black metal demos to go through for you here, and this first one is of a project that would go on to become another dominating force in US black metal. This is Toten with Dreary Proximity. Yeah. This was released, I believe, early this year through Nuclear War Now, and this is a demo compilation of some late 80s demo material from a band called Toten, which of course later on in life would serve as the beginning process for what this band would later be becoming, Profanatica. Toten would later go on to become Profanatica, but back in the early 80s, Paul Ledney and John Gelso were involved with Toten and put out some very, very intriguing, raw sort of demo material. A Macabre demo from 1988 and the Misery demo from 1987. The latter of which being rehearsal material and all that other stuff. But it was very, very cool to hear something like this. I know that on the Enemy of Virtue compilation that Hell's Headbangers put out, we got a little glimpse of what Toten was all about, what type of material that project had been putting out. But here on this demo compilation, you get more of an appreciation as to what Toten was all about. Very, very killer, raw, early 80s black metal, just serving as the footprint as to what this band would later become. If you're a Profanatica fan, you should definitely be familiar with and comfortable with how Toten makes music, how things get made. It's just really, really impressive black metal stuff. Of course, like I said, this band would go on to later become Profanatica, and the rest, as they say, is history. But yeah, here's the front cover. Very crude logo, crude artwork going on here. I love that. Back cover, track listing and credits. There you see a classic band member photo here. This more crude artwork and credits and details and all that stuff. It comes with a double-sided poster, which I think is pretty damn neat. Yeah, more crude artwork going on here. Macabre 1988 demo. There, on this opposite side, you have more crude artwork, and you have classic band member photos, which I think is very, very neat and something important to this band's legacy. This came on two different variants. There was a white vinyl with a patch, which I believe was the Die Hard version, but I just got the standard black vinyl. It's a single-sided LP. There you see the label is very simplistic. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see it well or not, but yeah, this is a etched vinyl LP. Very, very cool. Yeah, very, very badass etching on here. But yeah, like I said, if you're into the early stages of Profanatica, you definitely will appreciate a project like Toten and Dreary Proximity. Very, very cool demo compilation. From the US, we move to Germany, I want to say. Yeah, Germany, for this next record. This band is going to be making their live debut in a few weeks at Destroying Texas Fest. Of course, I love going to Destroying Texas Fest. And one of the bands that got announced for this fest was this band. This is BAXAXAXA with Hellfire. Yeah. This is a demo released through Nuclear War Now Productions, and of course BAXAXAXA, this is the only demo that they ever put out in 1992, and this project would later go on to become Ungod. Of course, Ungod being an absolutely amazing German black metal band, but BAXAXAXA was where it all began. Very mystical, very blasphemous, very raw stuff, and pretty much, like I said, this project would later become Ungod, but this band's early beginnings are very raw, straight to the point, very nasty stuff. The songs that are on here are very, very memorable. Church of the Antichrist, The Day When God Falls, Hellfire, just some seriously killer stuff, and very much the early precursor to how things would later go on for this band is just very, very memorable. I'm glad that this was able to be put out on a vinyl format, and if I'm not mistaken, at Destroying Texas Fest, Morbid Metal Records is going to be putting out a tape version of this particular demo, which I believe will be available exclusively at the show, but I might be wrong, but oh well. This is a very, very cool demo, and this only makes me appreciate On God that much more, but I appreciate BAXAXAXA for contributing something very, very crazy for European black metal. But yeah, anyway, here's a front cover. Love this artwork. Very, very classic looking stuff. Back cover, track listing and credits. There you see the Nuclear War Now logo here. All the band members involved. Very, very crazy stuff. And he comes with a fold-out poster of the artwork in question. Very, very cool stuff. And I believe this is a limited pressing of only 250 copies, and I believe they all come on a standard black vinyl. Side A, Side B, very simplistic sort of labels going on here. But good quality being done by Nuclear War Now as per usual. But yeah. Classic, classic ancient black metal from BAXAXAXA with Hellfire. Definitely go check this one out. Alright, now we're heading into some heavy hitter territory with these last couple of records, and this next one I'm going to show you is one that I've been after for a very, very long time. Profound Lore Records announced last year that this was getting a vinyl reissue, and I was completely blown away. This is easily, in my opinion, one of the greatest U.S. black metal albums of all time, and considering that this album will be turning 10 years old next year, I still think this will hold up the test of time very, very nicely. This is COBALT with Jinn. Yeah. 2009 Profound Lore Records release, and this is the third full-length from COBALT. This was during the time period in which this band was going through a very major shift change in their sound and in their style, because back then they put out the album War Metal, which I still think is a very, very great debut, but then later on this band would put out Eater of Birds, and things would change drastically. From a musical, lyrical, and conceptual sort of standpoint, Eater of Birds was an absolutely amazing album, but I believe with Jinn, things get turned to a whole nother level here. And I think that this is an absolutely marvelous album. Phil McSorley and Eric Wonder really do bring out the best material that COBALT has ever put out. Absolutely wondrous music being played here. Great musicianship, excellent songwriting, great lyrics. I love the lyrical content of this album. It's just so meaningful, so strong. Listening to the title track, Arsonry, Stomach, Pregnant Insect, just some very, very memorable songs to be heard on this album. And yeah, all this time later, I still think Jinn is a very, very important piece of U.S. black metal. I still think it holds the test of time up very well, and very much is responsible for a lot of the current wave of American black metal that I believe you hear and see today. I think Jinn is a masterpiece all the way through and through. But anyway, here's the front cover. Very memorable picture art here. There you see the COBALT logo. Back cover. I love this back cover, and I love that they have an older Profound Lore Records logo on here. There you see the track listings. I want to say that's Power's Booth. I could be wrong, but yeah, love this back cover. Gatefold is even more awesome. Yeah, absolutely amazing. This Jinn is dedicated to Ernest Hemingway and Hunter S. Thompson. Very, very memorable stuff. There you see him pointing the gun at the typewriter. Very memorable image. Comes with a lyric sheet. Got a photo collage of this era of COBALT. Very, very cool stuff. Lyrics and credits, and as you can see, Jarbo had a hand in doing vocals. You had some additional guitar work. Yeah, Very, very cool stuff. And I believe that this repress was limited to 500 copies, and there are multiple vinyl variations, but I got the just the gold variant. I felt it was appropriate to have a gold vinyl for Cobalt. The splatter and merges look cool, but this is just very simple and straight to the point here. Very, very gorgeous quality here with this gold record, and it sounds badass. They did a great job with Eater of Birds too, but I'll show that off in a future video. But yeah, I wanted to talk about Jinn, because Jinn is my favorite Cobalt record. Of course, you know, Phil McSorley would later go on to do work with Recluse, which is another really badass project that seems to now just fade away and not exist anymore. Cobalt would put out Slow Forever with a new vocalist, Charlie Fell. That album is, I think, is pretty good, and I'll get it at an eventual point in time. But this is the classic Cobalt sound for me. Eater of Birds, Jinn, masterpiece. Going earlier back in the 2000s for this next one, this is a record that I've been after for quite some time, and this is something that is just absolutely psychotic all the way through. This is Xasthur with Telepathic with the Deceased. Yeah. This is originally released in 2004, I believe, through Moribund Records, and this is the vinyl version put out through Foreign Sounds. And yeah, I don't think I need to say too much about who Xasthur is or what it's all about. It's a one-person black metal project originally, Malefic playing and doing everything. This is the third Xasthur full-length, and I think that this is easily my favorite piece of material that Xasthur has ever done, because he makes everything seem so effortless here with this album. Just the guitar playing, the drum machines, the vocals, the howls, the wails, the screams, the misanthropic lyrics, just the overall sense of despair and hatefulness being done here with Telepathic with the Deceased makes everything work so perfectly. And a lot of these songs still hold up very well today. Slaughtered Useless Beings in a Nihilist Dream, May Your Void Become as Deep as My Hate, Cursed Revelations. I fucking love Cursed Revelations. That's one of my favorite Xasthur songs ever. But yeah, this is some seriously hateful shit, and I'm very happy to have this album on a vinyl format. I had the tape version that Foreign Sounds put out for years, but I wanted to get this vinyl version before it eventually sold out and would never be pressed again. I'm very, very pleased to own this album, and this, like I said, this is my favorite Xasthur album ever. Yeah, so anyway, here's the front cover. Very recognizable artwork here. A little bit of corner bends because this was shrink wrapped, but hey, it's whatever. Music's fine. I don't give a fuck about any of that type of shit. Back cover, track listings. The D side has some demo material and some rehearsal stuff. You got a Judas Iscariot cover. Very, very cool little bonus goodies here. There you see Foreign Sounds Moribund, limited edition of 500. Gatefold. You have some lyrics and credits. And there you see this infamous picture of Malefic behind the window right here. Very, very cursed image, I would say. And yeah, this is a double LP, and I got this very intriguing sort of variant here. It's half blue, half dark orange marbled vinyl. I mean, I thought it was red at first, but I think this is pretty much borderlining on orange. Very, very high quality stuff here. Both of these sides are etched. I have the A and B vinyl, so I'll read the etchings real quick. My world will begin alone, without life, without light. And on side B it says, a funeral for those damned is a funeral for the light. Absolutely cool. I love when labels do the etching stuff with records. This is very interesting and very high quality stuff here. But yeah. If you haven't heard Telepathic with the Deceased, I would honestly say give it a shot. This is my favorite Xasthur record of all time, and this album only gets better and better every time I listen to it. But yeah, Telepathic with the Deceased by Xasthur. Go check this one out. And last but not least is something that I have been waiting months for. The unfortunate deal of having to have customs withhold something being sent to somebody is an absolutely shitty feeling. But I ordered this record back in February, I want to say, and because of the unfortunate lapse of time, you know, I had to wait for this one. But I'm happy that I have it, and this is easily another US black metal band that I absolutely love. I don't care if you hate them or love them. I fucking love them, and I'm very, very pleased to have this one. This is Grand Belial's Key with Goat of 1,000 Young, Triumph of the Hordes. Yeah. This was released last year through World Terror Committee, and this is, of course, a demo compilation of the first 2 Grand Belial's Key demos. Back during the phase in which this band had hoods, black and white face paint, had more of a cult sort of look going for them, before this band would later go on to ditch all of that to become straight up hateful hooligan black metal. But yeah, this is some seriously awesome stuff. I got the CD earlier this year, and the quality on the CD is very, very amazing. But here with this record, they did a phenomenal job with not only maintaining the integrity of the demo stuff, but all of the extra stuff that gets included on here, like the live material, the instrumental demos, all that other stuff. But yeah, Goat of 1,000 Young, what can I say? Absolutely brilliant demo. Shemham Forash, Sumerian Fairy Tale, The Seventh Enochian Key, Sleeping Princes of the Arges, When Darkness Rears Itself a Throne. Absolutely killer songs, great songwriting, great riffs, very intriguing vocals. Of course, these vocals have a more screamed wretch sort of approach going on here. You wouldn't be hearing that on later Grand Belial's Key records, but it's whatever. I think this is a very, very awesome to hear these classic demos. I still consider Grand Belial's Key one of the most important US black metal bands of all time. I fucking love everything that they do. If they come out with new material, best believe I will be on it like white on rice. And yeah, here's the front cover. Love this artwork here. There you see the old Grand Belial's Key logo, Goat of 1,000 Young, Triumph of the Hordes. Back cover, track listing and credits. There you see World Terror Committee. Very, very cool stuff. Gatefold with lyrics, artwork, credits. There you see the original vocalist of Grand Belial's Key, Lord Vlad Luciferian, or as the great King Fowley would call him, Cocula the Vampire. There you see the other band members in question, Demonic, Gilal, Necrosodomy. Very, very badass. Comes with this gigantic booklet, which I'm going to take out here and show you. There you see the band members in question. More old Grand Belial's Key logo stuff here. Back of the booklet. This dude's all toasted out. If you have the CD version, you'll know what's in the booklet, but this is a pretty much bigger, blown-up version of the booklet here. Heavy metal outlaws, boycotted, reviled, and shunned for more than 2 decades. Yeah, you know what Grand Belial's Key is all about. There you have these really awesome liner notes and interviews, pretty much showcasing what the band is all about. I mean, if you love the music, you'll get a kick out of these interview segments. It's very, very rowdy and over-the-top stuff. You basically know what Grand Belial's Key you're getting yourself into with this these interviews and booklets. And I believe this vinyl version was limited to 500 copies. There was, I believe, 100 were limited to gold. But I was lucky. I was just lucky enough to get a standard heavyweight black vinyl version of this. It's double LP, side A, side B. Great, great quality. World Terror Committee did a badass job. Not only with the CD version, but with the vinyl version, I think is badass too. If you're able to get a hold of this compilation, I would highly recommend that you do so. This is some seriously great ways of getting acquainted with this band's early body of works. This is some seriously killer US black metal. Very important US black metal, I should say. But yeah, Grand Belial's Key, Goat of 1,000 Young, Triumph of the Hordes. Classic US black metal. And with that being said, I'm going to conclude this video. I'll leave you some links to some of the bands I talked to you about here in this video. If you happen to have heard or own any of these releases, definitely let me know what you think about it, how you feel, and we can go from there. Have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until the next time, Army Hell out.